Hello there, dear friends. When I was young, a long time ago, I played in a band that consisted of some famous film directors here in Holland. And I didn't always play in it, but when one of the directors couldn't be there, the guitar player, I used to substitute for him. And in that band was also a guy called Leon de Winter. He's a writer and a film director. And he told me one day that he sometimes cried when he ate something that was so delicious that he was just overwhelmed by emotions, and he started crying because the food was so good. And I always remembered that because I also enjoy food, but I've never had that experience that it was just so overwhelming that I had to cry. But the other day that actually happened, I was on a silent retreat in Eliza, which is a place in Belgium, which is a gorgeous place. It's an energetic wellness center, they call it. It's much more than a spa. And in the afternoon, when we got our food, we were sitting on big tables and we were overlooking the beautiful nature that is there. It's a lake and little hills, and the colors of the trees were just so overwhelmingly beautiful. The sun was shining. But then, in silence, of course, we started eating the food, and it was just so good. It was just so good. Later on, the guy who organizes it, he also went to the cook and he said, well, you've really overdone it now. I mean, it was just so gorgeous. And I literally, my eyes started tearing, and I really had to do everything in my power to not just weep. It was just an amazing experience. And I think it's also because we were in silence. And if you've never eaten in that way, I would certainly recommend doing that more often, because usually when we're sitting together at the table, we talk a lot, and it's really nice and everything, but we forget to really taste our food. But on silent retreats, you can really taste your food, and it's just a completely different experience. In the beginning, it's always a little bit hard. People find it difficult when, we're sitting on the table together and you're sitting opposite each other, and, you're just eating your food and you hear the knife and the fork on the plate, and it's a little bit awkward sometimes. But then after a while, people get used to it, and it's just so amazing to just really taste the food and to really just feel what it does to you, but also to be grateful. Because before we eat, we always say thanks to the food, and we sort of consider, where does this food come from? How many hours of sun, the rain, the wind, the elements, It just takes such a long time for food to actually come on your plate. How many people have been laboring it to get there? The farmers, the truck drivers, all the people that have been involved. And if you really think about that and you really feel that gratitude to the food, then it really is an emotional experience. So if you haven't felt that before, then maybe it's good to sometimes try that, maybe with your family. Just say, let's have a dinner in complete silence, and to just really, really taste the food.